Hello guys and welcome to this video. This is MDubs here, and with the completion of the Booster Course Pass, I will be re-ranking all the courses in the Mario Kart series to ultimately come up with my top 264 Mario Kart tracks. I will be taking a look at all titles from Super Mario Kart through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and ranking the courses in each game. I will not be including the Super Circuit SNES tracks or any of the arcade games. I will not be including Mario Kart Tour within this series. You can expect some Mario Kart Tour rankings at a later point. Up next is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This game spanned across two different consoles, the Wii U and the Switch. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U started out by only having 32 courses in the base game, but then 16 DLC courses were added to the game. With the Wii U not doing too good in sales, Nintendo brought forth the Switch, but Mario Kart 8 was doing solidly in terms of sales, so the game was ported over to the Switch as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No one ever expected anything to be added to the game, especially 5 years later. But the game doubled in size with the introduction of the Booster Course Pass, which brought back 48 courses from past Mario Kart games, including nearly every entry from Mario Kart Tour. This brought the game to an astounding 96 tracks. Before the Booster Course Pass, the game was pretty good, and definitely the best in the series. But with all the awesome tracks from the past being added as well as adding some new characters, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is solidly the best Mario Kart game without any kind of competition in my eyes. There are, as mentioned before, 96 tracks in this game, and a decent portion of them are retro tracks. For this video, some retro tracks will not be talked about in great detail to avoid redundancy from my other 7 videos where I rank the tracks from Super Mario Kart all the way to Mario Kart 7. I have a ranking system you can learn about if you're not familiar with it, but if you are, a timestamp will be provided in the description to skip the ranking system.
So here's the ranking system really quickly. Each track will be rated out of 100. This will be its total T-score, represented in yellow. The closest to 100 it is, the better the track is. I once again have the GEM system, which stands for Game, Entertainment, Music, and Scenery. G for Game, represented in orange, is a rating of 1 to 5 on how much I like the game that the course is from. E for Entertainment, represented in red, is a rating of 1 to 75 on how fun I think the course is. M for Music, represented in blue, is a rating of 1 to 15 on how much I enjoy the course's music. I previously had this rated out of 10, but I think the music really does help determine how much I like a course. S for Scenery, represented in green, is a rating of 1 to 5 on how much I enjoy a course's scenery. I previously had this rated out of 10 as well, but I don't think scenery has too much of an impact on how much I like a course. Add those 4 factors together to get your T-score. Once again, I have a tiering system, however it's changed up a bit. A score's T-score will place it in a tier. 0 through 29 will put it in the F tier. These tracks leave much to be desired. 30 to 44 is in the D tier, and these tracks aren't that great, but they have some redeeming qualities. 45 through 59 is the C tier. I don't mind these tracks, but there's better ones. And then 60 to 74 is the B tier. I like these tracks quite a bit. And then 75 through 89 is the A tier. I really like these tracks, but they're not my all-time favorites. 90 through 94 is the S tier. These tracks are extremely fun to play on with lots of good qualities. And then 95 through 100 is the SS tier. And that's a new tier that I'm putting into my ranking videos. But these tracks are the best of the best. They are legendary. With all that out of the way, let's get to the ranking. Number 96, SNES Mario Circuit 3. I really wish they hadn't brought back this course. It really could have been anything else. But not everything can be perfect. Number 95, 3DS Toad Circuit. Basically the same thing. There's no reason this course should have been brought back, but it's a little bit more fun than Mario Circuit 3. Number 94, SNES Donut Plains 3. A pleasant remake which no longer requires racers to make a jump across the bridge. With underwater mechanics, there's no risk. A beautifully upscaled track in terms of graphics, but nothing that sticks out beyond that. Number 93, GCN Dry Desert. This track is a little bit more forgiving this go around with the removal of the tornadoes. There's also an added oasis towards the end of the track, which is an interesting touch. Number 92, Animal Crossing. In my opinion, it's the worst Nitro track in this game. First of all, the name is really dumb. It's the name of the series the course originates from. Second of all, the music is pretty boring for all 4 versions. But the gimmick of the course changing between seasons is pretty cool. But even then, the course itself and all its variants aren't very exciting. Number 91, N64 Toad's Turnpike. The vehicles are a bit more spaced out as opposed to the previous version where there is barely any room to drive. That increases the quality slightly. Beyond that though, it's fairly generic, it doesn't have much to offer. Number 90, GBA Mario Circuit.
An upscale GBA circuit track with part of the course being lifted up by Ultra Hands, which is a toy from Nintendo's early years, causing an anti-gravity section. Number 89. Mario Circuit. It's yet another Figure 8, however with a decent chunk of the course in anti-gravity. Unlike Figure 8 Circuit, there's actually enemies and ramps and speed boosts to at least bring some kind of entertainment to the racers. Number 88. Excite Bike Arena. A course that changes every time you race on it, with an abundance of exhilarating ramps to trick off of to enhance the race. At the end of the day, it's just a glorified oval, so it's nothing too great. Number 87. Tour Tokyo Blur. The first of several city-based courses originating from Mario Kart Tour. This one goes by like a blur, and it introduces the concept of racing on a different part of the track each lap quite nicely, but that's about it. Even the music isn't that great. Number 86. Bone Dry Dunes. It's a decent desert course with some sharp turns and tricky off-road patches to challenge racers. Watch out for bone piranha plants and dry bones obstacles as you navigate your way to the finish. Number 85. Rimumu Meadows. Not much has changed in this course beyond a glider ramp added towards the end where you can fly directly over all the moles. The cows are still just as great as always, so despite being low on this list, it's still a decent addition to this game, which has 11 out of 16 Mario Kart Wii tracks in it. Number 84. SNES Rainbow Road. It's a classic of course, but it's just too short and too overused to stand out as anything that amazing in this game. The graphics are really nice in comparison to the original version. Number 83. Tour Paris Promenade. The second city track in this list, and the second and last one from the very first wave of the Booster Course Pass. The two laps are the same, and the third one is just a glorified reverse lap. The Eiffel Tower is a sight to see, so racing through this course is somewhat exciting. Number 82. GCN Sherbet Land. The ice physics are improved quite a bit in this game compared to Double Dash, making this course nowhere near as bad as it was. There's a few new paths added, which are nice, but tend to be slower than taking the intended route. The scenery in this course is just downright gorgeous, with fireworks blasting in a frosty sky. Number 81. Ice Outpost. This course takes place across two split paths. It's nothing too special, but there's a few shortcuts which are fairly satisfying to pull off from time to time. The music in this course is also really good. Number 80. Water Park. Much like many others, I feel like they could have done more with this course rather than combining underwater and anti-gravity mechanics. Regardless though, it's still a decent course. Number 79. Sweet Canyon. The scenery behind this course definitely gives Sugar Rush from Wreck-It Ralph vibes. Beyond that, it's nothing too interesting. There's not much challenge, it just sort of exists. Number 78. N64 Royal Raceway. A gorgeous N64 remake, albeit with the removal of being able to drive where Peach's castle is. The game is a bit more forgiving because if you touch the off-road, you won't be sent straight into the drink. Beyond that, the giant jump is replaced with the glider, which is a sweet touch. Number 77. GBA Sunset Wilds. I know what you're all thinking. This track got ruined and deserves to be at the bottom of the list because of the removal of the sunset gimmick. For me, that definitely ruins part of the magic of this track, but at the end of the day, it's still Sunset Wilds, which was one of the better courses from Super Circuit, brought back with some added elevation. The Shy Guys aren't as miserable to run into either. The sunset gimmick being taken away was a devastatingly awful and questionable choice on Nintendo's part, though. Number 76. GCN Baby Park. Well, they royally screwed this one up on the DS, but brought it back into this game and made the entire race in anti-gravity, which is a nice touch and allows for a lot of opportunities to gain some speed. With double item boxes being brought into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the item carnage is nearly on par with what it was in Double Dash. Number 75. Mario Kart Stadium. It's actually a fairly decent opening track. Not only does it introduce the anti-gravity element to the game, but it also has a nice glider section towards the end. The music to this course is also pretty good. Number 74. Tour New York Minute. It was the very first city course introduced in the Mario Kart Tour, so it is kinda basic. It doesn't have as much to offer as other city courses do. The music is alright, but a little bit too cheesy for my tastes. Number 73. Super Bell Subway. I know that some of you will get really mad at me for placing this as low as I did, but I'm just not a huge fan. The train is a bit unforgiving and leaves very little room to drive at times. Sorry to all Super Bell Subway fans, but I just don't really get the appeal. Number 72. GBA Snowland. Definitely a tremendous improvement from its original and abysmal counterpart, where the screen is shaking whilst you are driving. The gimmick is thankfully removed, and we're left with a beautiful winter wonderland with some fun music to race to. Number 71. GBA Riverside Park. Another GBA remake that was done fairly well. Riverside Park wasn't bad in Super Circuit, but it was improved here quite a bit with a beautiful overhaul and patuis added on the course as obstacles. Number 70, DS Shroom Ridge. An unexpected entry to be brought back from the dead. The graphics speak for themselves, but the course is pretty fun with a few shortcuts added to help racers avoid those pesky cars. I will make it a point to say that the music is pretty freaking awesome in this remake. Number 69, Sky High Sunday. I get this track gets trashed on for simply being a glorified oval, and yeah, that's basically what it is, but I think the track is leagues better than Baby Park and Excite Bike Arena, because firstly, the entire thing is in anti-gravity. Second of all, there's lots of jumps and even a glider section which enhance the race. In terms of new courses brought into the Booster Course Pass, it's the worst, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. Number 68. Wii Daisy Circuit. A beautiful remake of an already beautiful course. Not much has changed beyond a glider pad being added in the shortcut. I think they went overkill on Mario Kart Wii courses in this game, and this course is living proof of that. But at the end of the day, it's still a decent racetrack. Number 67, GBA Blue Lake. Another tremendous improvement from its previous version. Parts of the track are in anti-gravity, and also underwater. The booze with the candles are gone, and it's just so much more exciting, and that includes the music. Number 66, N64 Calamari Desert. A fun course with a lovely remake which incorporates the Calamari Desert 2 element from Mario Kart Tour, which had racers drive alongside the train tracks where the train is. It can be a bit tight at times, but it puts a spin on a classic that many fans who played Mario Kart 64 wish was possible in its time. Number 65, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. Again, it's just a beautiful course and not much has changed in the remake besides an added half-pipe towards the middle of the track. It's nothing too special, but at the end of the day, a decent addition to the game. Number 64, GBA Cheeseland. I'm not that crazy about this remake, even though it is a giant overhaul from its previous version. It's just too much of a bagging contest. Whoever gets the Shroom on lap 3 and pulls off the double off-road cut wins the race. It's just a bit too swingy for me to enjoy as much as other races. Number 63, Merry Mountain. A course that brings forth the Christmas spirit, beautiful scenery, and a jolly song. The course itself is not anything too exciting though, but all in all, it gives a Christmas vibe and I quite enjoy it. Number 62, DS Chape Beach. A bit better than the DS version because you can drive in the water and access new parts of the course that were non-existent from before. There's a lot better DS courses that were brought into this game, but this one being here is a fairly decent touch. Number 61, GCN Yoshi Circuit. A beautiful overhaul on the classic course, still maintaining the outline of Yoshi for the track. It's one of the best circuit tracks to be brought back into this game. Number 60, Tour London Loop. This course drags on a bit, but is still fairly good. The chain chomp is a nice touch, especially on lap 3 when it becomes unchained. The music is fairly exciting as well. Number 59, DS Mario Circuit. Even though this course made it into the game over Airship Fortress, it was an underrated circuit track from before, and I'm actually glad it got another chance. Everything being upscaled in this course worked out quite nicely with the Wiggler added to the track as well. The song had a really nice rendition of it as well. Number 58, N64 Chocolate Mountain. Every time this course was brought back, it improved in some way. The track was too janky in Mario Kart 64, and that was cleaned up in Mario Kart DS. But this version, based off of the Tour version, adds a cave and also a glider pad towards the middle of it. Number 57, Wii Wario's Gold Mine. A bit frustrating in the Wii version, but now the minecarts are your friend as they give you a boost when you tap on one of them. You're still given a roller coaster vibe while racing on this course. Number 56, Tour Rome Avanti. Well, this city track has lots of twists and turns, and on the final lap, a couple of jump-scaring chain chomps. The scenery is quite lovely as it takes you through the Colosseum and other Italian landmarks under a beautiful night sky. Number 55, Tour Los Angeles Laps. Personally, I know others are miffed about this, but the ba going away is a relief. They are so annoying and cheesy in Mario Kart Tour. There are also a few high-pitched sounds that were unbearable to listen to in that game which are now gone here, so the song is fairly polished up. As for the track, it's the only city course where it's actually a section course. With that said though, it's not really that exciting of a track. I do love the Mario Baseball reference though, and we desperately need a new game from that series. Number 54, Toad Harbor. I would say this track qualifies as a breath of fresh air. It's not too difficult. The most difficult obstacle you'll encounter is a trolley that doesn't pose much of a threat. The music is quite nice to this course, so even though there's nothing too terribly exciting, it's still a decent course. Number 53, Hyrule Circuit. Now this is a crossover track done correctly. Tons of Legend of Zelda references throughout the track, but still with a Mario Kart spin on it. The coolest part is the secret boost panel opening if you successfully hit all the spin boosts. It's an underutilized mechanic in this game, and this course pulled it off quite nicely. The music is also very nice to listen to. Number 52, Wii Moonview Highway. This course was pretty frustrating, Mario Kart Wii, however that was the charm of it. In this version, the cars pose nearly zero threat as they go at the same pace as the ones in Toad's Turnpike. It ruins the excitement of the track slightly, but the music is incredible and the moonlit sky is gorgeous. Number 51, Wii Grumble Volcano. Unlike previously mentioned Wii tracks, this one is just about the same. The gimmick remains where the course falls apart as the race continues to where there's not much left on the track to drive on by the time you're on the home stretch. Number 50, Tour Amsterdam Drift. This course is fun to play on. Unlike LA Laps, the vocals to this song are actually very good, and they're brought back into this game from Tour. A decent portion of the course is underwater, so that makes it stand out from other city courses quite a bit. Number 49, Dolphin Shoals. And speaking of courses that have a decent portion of it taking underwater, we have Dolphin Shoals. Towards the middle of the track, there's some intimidating jumps and Unagi the Eel coming out to play from Super Mario 64. The jazzy music in this course is pretty good, but it doesn't last the entire time. Number 48, N64 Yoshi Valley. We have made it to the top half of the list. Yoshi Valley was one of the better ones for Mario Kart 64. However, the issue was if you fell off the track, Lakitu would take a while to come pick you up. Lakitu quickly recovers you in this version, and with the advancement of the technology throughout the years, you can now see what place you are in. The remix to this song is pretty good, and the gimmick behind this track with there being numerous routes to take still being there makes this course a good one to have back. Number 47, DS Wario Stadium. This course was fairly generic in Mario Kart DS, not to say that it was bad, but it just did not stand out in comparison to the Double Dash Stadium courses. In Mario Kart 8, this course was brought back, and lots of things were changed about it, including an anti-gravity section and an underwater section. With the added ability to trick off ramps, this course is a lot more exhilarating, and the altering terrain throughout the course nets a spot in the top half. Number 46, Tour Berlin Byways. This course is pretty fun, with thwomp and even womp obstacles to watch out for. It's the only city course that has moving cars as obstacles, but this course is hard carried by its music. It's such a beautiful piece of music to race to. Number 45, Tour Madrid Drive. I would say that this course definitely has quite a bit of variety in it. You'll be racing in several different locations in this map, including an art museum and even a soccer stadium. The music is interesting and changes at points as well. All in all, a fairly solid city course that keeps you entertained from start to finish. Number 44, Twisted Mansion. This course is pretty awesome. You'll be twisting and turning and driving up and down the walls of this unique mansion. There's several different gimmicks featured in this course, including anti-gravity, underwater driving, and even a glider pad towards the end. Number 43, DS Beach Gardens. Well, this course has always been a pleasure to race on, but then they took everyone's surprise with its Mario Kart 8 Deluxe remake. First of all, it's based off of the Tour version, which has a giant piranha plant towards the end of it, as well as everything else from before. But then on lap 3, you are taken to a secret path, which takes you to the castle where you will drive backwards. A glider pad is added to where you'll glide over the giant hedge maze. Nothing was broken here, yet having a twist within this course that came by complete shock to everyone was a good move. I would just like to point out that the violins of this song go super hard and make the song even better than it was before. Number 42, GBA Sky Garden. This is probably my most blazing take of the ranking. I know what everyone is thinking, and believe me, I thought this at one point too. The track got completely murdered from what it was before. Certain parts of it are completely gone, and the shortcuts are non-existent as well. I still agree that it does not feel like the GBA or even the DS versions of Sky Garden. But the course is still very fun, and even though certain parts are missing, it still does feel like Sky Garden if you play through it enough times. The leaves at the beginning are a bit misleading as it's a slower path. The mushroom towards the middle is a decent touch, because in Mario Kart DS, there was a ramp there that was optional to take. Now then, my personal favorite part about Sky Garden was the little shortcut you could take while hopping clouds. That's not present in this version, but still exists with an off-road shortcut under a beanstalk. Then after that, you have a satisfying glider section. Some people say it's ruined. I do think certain parts of this course that were really charming no longer exist, but the new spin put on this classic is not terrible, and I find it pretty fun. I still think the DS version of Sky Garden is the best, but I do not hate this version at all, beyond wiping out some of the nostalgia this course had from before. Number 41, Dragon Driftway. This course is lots of fun. 95% of it takes place in anti-gravity. There's lots of twisting and turning and chances for off-road shortcuts in this unique little course brought into the Wii U DLC. Number 40, 3DS Neo Bowser City. This course looks absolutely gorgeous in HD with its beautiful neon lights and futuristic city themed after Bowser, all in the middle of a giant rainstorm. The hairpin turns can still be a bit of a challenge if you're not careful, but especially in 200cc. This course is a true test of 200cc skills. Number 39, Tour Bangkok Rush. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is an incredible game where many of its tracks are simply just S tier or better for me. This is the last track on the A tier and it just barely misses out. Regardless, this course is really fun even with the removal of the inky piranha plants. The different locations in Thailand that you are taken to are quite exhilarating and fun to drive, or glide, or bounce around. Number 38, Tour City Sprint. The first track in the S tier. The layout is pretty simple with some straightaways, but for some reason this track is just fairly exciting to me. Perhaps it's driving in and out of the Sydney Opera House, or the ramps that you take on lap 2 and lap 3, I don't know. What I do know is the song to this track is an extreme banger, one of the best city songs for sure. Number 37, Thwomp Ruins. A very rare example of a mushroom cup in the S tier, but this track is just really good and shows off the anti-gravity really well. You have to be careful where you're driving because you'll be dodging an abundance of thwomps, and on lap 2 and lap 3 there's a giant gear rolling around, which opens up a glider on lap 2. The song is also pretty good for this track. Number 36, SNES Bowser Castle 3. This might be another hot take for me, and don't get me wrong, this is the best NES remake and it's not even close. I just don't think it's as fun as other tracks in my opinion for this game, but the use of anti-gravity was well executed here with all the ramps and even the walls being able to be driven on now. The music also goes extremely hard, but for me, there's only so much you can do with an SNES track, but they did enough with this one to bring it to the S tier for sure. Number 35, 3DS Rock Mountain. I know people have gripes about the graphics here, but honestly, I don't really care that much. I love gliding through this course and seeing all the trees and forested area. The gliders are slightly janky in this game compared to Mario Kart 7, or even Mario Kart Tour, but still pretty exhilarating, and you're still able to get quite a bit of distance with your glider. The best part about this track for me is the uphill section with the falling rocks is now an anti-gravity section, so that's what boosted into the S tier for me. May I also add that the remix of this song is headbanging. I just like this one quite a bit, even if people think the remake was not as good as the original. I tend to disagree with them. Number 34, 3DS DK Jungle. I like this one quite a bit in 7, and it's brought back into this game, and the music is exactly the same as it was in 7. It's just a really fun track, with Donkey Kong theme elements and a nice use of anti-gravity in the temple. The off-road glider is really fun to take still. It's just one of Mario Kart 7's better Nitro tracks, so I'm elated that it was brought into this game. Number 33, Wild Woods. This track had a large portion of it in anti-gravity, which is nice for the Wii U DLC to include because the Booster Course Pass did not have it implemented as much. Regardless, this course is pretty fun and it takes you down an exhilarating water slide. The shortcut towards the end is really nice to pull off, especially on the final lap, but it goes without saying that someone else can snipe your win as well. But all in all, this is a great Wii U DLC track. Number 32, 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. Another really fun course from Mario Kart 7 brought into this game. The underground section is now an anti-gravity, so that's pretty neat. The entire race is exciting from start to finish, with ramps and underwater sections and gliders to enhance the experience, as well as some giant piranha plants, which can be tricky to dodge at times. Number 31, Wii Mushroom Gorge. A classic from Mario Kart Wii, brought into this game and remade very well if I may say. I was a bit scared when I found out that this course was coming into the Booster Course Pass because the mushroom platforms aren't as bouncy as they were in the previous two games, and there's an entire cave with nothing but mushrooms. But that was not an issue. If you like the Mario Kart Wii version with the shortcut at the beginning and mushrooms on both sides of the cave, you're in luck, because this version brings those back. However, if you're like me and enjoy the giant blue mushroom that activates your glider, you're also in luck as it's brought back here too. It combines both Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7's renditions on the track and brings it together as one, making it for me the best version of this track. Number 30, Mute City. First of all, the entire track is in anti-gravity, so enhances the thrill. Second of all, you'll almost always have 10 coins while racing on here, as there are these pads throughout the course that will increase your coin total. There are two F-Zero tracks in this game, but this one is the weaker of the two by far, but I still find it quite exciting with everything mentioned before and a really sick shortcut towards the end of the track, which can be seen in my intro for my videos. Number 29, JCN Daisy Cruiser. This course is brought back, and it's just a classic that would be really difficult to ruin. They don't ruin anything by keeping everything the same. It would have been nice to glide on top of the cruiser like you could in Mario Kart Tour, but that's okay. It's still just a classic with a fairly nice remix to its song. Number 28, Squeaky Clean Sprint, a brand spanking new course brought into the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart Tour. This one has you racing inside of a bathroom. You race in several different parts of the bathroom, such as a sink, a bathtub, underneath a drain, and even a toilet with a water geyser that activates on laps 2 and 3 to help you reach an alternate path. It's pretty fun from start to finish. Unfortunately, it is held a little bit back by its music, as the song is not as great as other songs in this game. Number 27, N64 Rainbow Road. Another fantastic remake from a course that was bad from before. Formerly, the course was extremely long, having you take all 3 laps. In this version, it is a section track, meaning there is only one cycle around the entire course. It does make the course a little bit short, but instead of the course being a complete bore fest with guardrails surrounding the entire thing, there's a lot more challenge to it. The fireworks in the background still make the track exciting, like you've reached the end, and the music is a bit more pumped up, even though the OG song was a beautiful piece of music. Number 26, Rainbow Road. Some people think that this Rainbow Road is a bit underwhelming, and I did for a while. But the space station vibe to it is actually kind of unique in a good way. There's multiple split paths that overlap each other, which allow for skips if timed correctly. There's barely any room for error, which lines up with most of the other Rainbow Roads. It's certainly unique in its own way, but not as special as other Rainbow Roads in this series. But I quite like this track, and I think they did a pretty good job with it, and that includes the song. Number 25, Tour Athens Dash. This is one of the better city courses with a lot going on, taking you through various parts of Greece, but it's also just a lot of fun to play on with several glider pads, a few half pipes, and just multiple ramps and speed boosts. There's also a few shortcuts which make this race a lot more fun than other city tracks, and the song is really awesome to this track. Number 24, GCN DK Mountain. Another classic from Double Dash brought back into this game. This version modeled off of Mario Kart Wii version with the added half pipes. The small ramps have been replaced with the terrain, becoming a ramp, which is a nice touch. Gliding out of the cannon is also a sweet addition to this game. The gap cut is still included, even though it is a bit more risky to take. The bridge at the end is able to be tricked off of as well. All in all, lots of decent improvements to this already amazing track, and that includes the music. Unfortunately, the music is a little bit boring, which holds this track very slightly from being SS tier, but it's a phenomenal work of art that I'm happy got brought into the Booster Course Pass. Number 23, Shy Guy Falls. We are now at the SS tier, and only at number 23, so this game is just loaded with extremely great tracks. The first one starting out this list is Shy Guy Falls. The music is so awesome in this course that there are Shy Guys in the background singing to it. This course is beautiful with lots of waterfalls that you can drive up and down. It's just loads of fun to race on. Number 22, Bowser's Castle. This Bowser's Castle is my favorite of all of them. They did a really nice job with this one. There's all kinds of danger, including lasers, fire, a giant wrecking ball, and a giant Bowser pounding the stage and adding ripples to the road, which enable you to trick. The anti-gravity in this course is used quite nicely. This course from start to finish is extremely intense, and that includes its hardcore music. Up until Wave 6 of the Booster Course Pass, it was the only Bowser's Castle in the game, and it held the fort quite nicely. Number 21, Sunshine Airport. There's been loads of cool ideas for settings for a racetrack in Mario Kart, and an airport and its tarmac is certainly one of the best ones. You drive through an airport, and if you listen very closely, you can hear the announcer listing off the flights ready to board. Beyond that, there's stationary airplanes that you can drive under and inside of. Then towards the end, there's 2 glider sections, the second of which you can glide in unison with the nearby hovering airplane. It's just a well-executed course that will be legendary for many years to come. Number 20, Tour Vancouver Velocity. If there's something that's on my bucket list, it's to see the Aurora Borealis, commonly known as the Northern Lights, which are in the background for this amazing city track. There's a lot going on, including driving on a suspicious-looking bridge in anti-gravity and dodging Shy Guys inside of a skating rink. I think I am biased towards this course due to its scenery, because there are a few straightaways that dull the track a little bit, but it's my list, so I can do whatever I want with it. I have not even mentioned the music yet. It is an amazing work of art that has such a funky but satisfying vibe to it. Number 19. Wii Coconut Mall. The most loved course by the majority of Mario Kart fans obviously makes its way into the Booster Course Pass, and man, at first they screwed it up because the cars remain completely stationary, but then, once Wave 2 released, they patched it up to where the Shy Guys in the cars did donuts, or 360-degree spins, when approached by racers, and that was an amazing touch. I'm glad they patched this course, but there's definitely other courses that need to be patched. Sunset Wilds. Number 18, Wii DK Summit. An absolutely incredible track from Mario Kart Wii brought right back into this game. This track was leaked to be in the Booster Course Pass for quite some time before it actually released, but I was scared of it returning, as at the time, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did not have half pipes, but luckily half pipes were resurrected in the Booster Course Pass, and this course obviously has them. They're still just as exhilarating to take, especially in 200cc, but have mercy if you fall down because, much like Yoshi Valley Mario Kart 64, Lakitu takes his sweet time sending you back on the stage. It makes the double cut a lot more risky, and even more satisfying to pull off. I quite like that element. The music, as always, is fantastic. Number 17. Piranha Plant Cove. This course is basically Mario Kart's version of Atlantis. Underwater ancient ruins with loads of enemies including clampies, jelly beams, sidesteppers, thwomps, and of course some piranha plants. Even though each lap is different, it is not a second course as you start each lap at the same point. But there's lots to see in this course, and it's all very fun to race to with an awesome song to accompany it. Number 16. Electrodrome. This course is just loads of fun. This course has some of the best uses of anti-gravity with a split path towards the middle where the music changes. It's just an extremely exhilarating ride from start to finish and one of the best nitro courses in this game for sure. Number 15. Cloudtop Cruise. You're racing in the clouds as if you're on Sky Garden, but then you blast out of a cannon into an airship where you're met with several different speed boosts, but you have to watch out as lightning strikes down onto the panels in a pattern. It's an awesome element that isn't seen very much in tracks. The outside portion is pretty fun too, with a shortcut right at the end if you're daring enough to try. The music is absolutely incredible for this course. Number 14. Tour Singapore Speedway. This is the best city track in the game. This course offers a lot, including a ride through Chinatown with a music change as well. This course has the same starting point for laps 1 and 2, but lap 3 starts somewhere entirely different. There's lots going on in this course with several glider pads, so at times you'll be high up in the sky. The scenery is absolutely gorgeous for this track, and the music is also very good, both for the normal version and the Chinatown version as well. Number 13. Wii Koopa Cape. Some people think that this version does not hold up as well as its original Mario Kart Wii version. I think the touches added to it are actually really awesome. First of all, there's some things brought back into this version that weren't in Mario Kart 7's, such as the half pipes and even the music for the river section. The part about this version that I really like is the underwater section, which was a slight disappointment in Mario Kart 7, removing the difficulty from the zappers and the flowing water from the river. However, now this part is in anti-gravity, with the zappers being replaced by spin boosts and a half pipe section being added. The music to this course is absolutely lovely for the land, river, and underwater sections. Number 12. 3DS Music Park. I personally prefer this one to Electrodrome. Even though it doesn't have the awesome uses of anti-gravity like that one does, I think it's a lot more unique and a lot more fun to race on. Again, you drive on instruments that make sounds as you race through. No changes were made in the retro version of this course, but it was one of the best in Mario Kart 7 and it still holds up very well in this game. The music is of course a bop. Number 11. GCN Waluigi Stadium. Wow. Simply just wow. Every time this course has been brought back onto a console, it has improved tremendously. Being brought back onto Mario Kart Wii, it worked perfectly for its engine, and the half pipes added to it were a very nice touch. Now it's brought back here and made even better than it already was. What makes this version so special is the utility of the half pipes. Normally you had to go out of your way to take them, but in this version, you can reach platforms that are inaccessible without the half pipes. One of these platforms is in anti-gravity, and you ride your way to a glider towards the finish line. It's a very nice touch to an already awesome course to begin with that saw improvements when remade in Mario Kart Wii. They went above and beyond with this version, and the music to this course is once again absolutely incredible. Number 10. GBA Ribbon Road. We've hit the top 10, and we start out with the Wii U DLC course. Much like Ribbon Road, this course saw a tremendous overhaul with toys everywhere. There's loads of references throughout the course that make it very interesting, including Yarn Yoshis. There's lots of shortcuts that can be taken, both on the road and the off-road. The road ripples at parts, which allows for lots of opportunities for tricking and gaining speed. It's just a very well-made retro course. Although I do prefer the original song more than this one, the song for this version still goes pretty hard, even though it has a completely different vibe to it. Number 9. DS Waluigi Pinball. It's just a classic that finally made its way onto a home console as opposed to being on a handheld console. The course is just as fun as it normally is. There's more challenge to this as I feel the pinballs are a bit harder to dodge, and I enjoy the increased difficulty personally. Beyond that, it's just a beloved classic that absolutely earns a spot in my top 10. The music is the same as it was for DS Wario Stadium in the base game, but I don't mind it at all. In fact, to my surprise, the music works better for Waluigi Pinball than it does in Wario Stadium, just in my opinion. Number 8. DS Tick-Tock Clock. I had Waluigi Pinball above Tick-Tock Clock in my DS rankings, but the tides have turned here. This course has just improved tremendously with an overhaul in graphics, as well as the ability to drive on the hands of the clock, both at the beginning and the end of the course. A glider pad has been added to fly over the gears, which is a nice touch as well. The music to this course is very well remixed, as in Mario Kart DS, it just kind of faded into the background with how soft it was, but in this version it is louder and I quite like it. Number 7, Big Blue. The second of the two F-Zero courses. Much like Mute City, you'll likely always have 10 coins while racing, as there are panels which increase your coin count as you drive on them. This course is a section track, however. You'll race through an F-Zero adventure as you go throughout the race, the best part being a gigantic water slide, which is loads of fun to take. It's the best Wii U DLC track for sure, and its music goes extremely hard as well. Number 6, Mount Wario. And this is the very last course in the base game. It's absolutely phenomenal. Once again, we have another section track here. You'll start out on top of the helicopter and traverse your way down. You'll race your way through an area with lots of trees, and on the final lap, it's one giant ski slope. You get a different vibe for each section, it just never gets old in my opinion. I like this song, but there's better music in this game, which slightly holds this track from being any higher. But in terms of racing, it's perfection, with beautiful snowy scenery to accompany it. Number 5, Yoshi's Island. Much like DK Jungle, this track here offers lots of fan service to Yoshi fans. The course is loaded with Yoshi references. There's also a unique gimmick to it. If you hit the floating cloud, a platform will be formed above the course which takes you straight through an off-road area, which saves lots of time. The cloud is difficult to hit, but so worth it when you or another racer does. The vibe in this track is just very happy. The music to this course is the athletic theme from Super Mario World 2, remixed in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe style, and very well done. I'll add one final thing that I absolutely love about this course, but I absolutely love Poochie, and he has a brief cameo at the beginning of this course. I'm very happy he was brought into Mario Kart Tour, but I really hope he's a playable racer in the next Mario Kart game. Number 4, Ninja Hideaway. This course is loads of fun and the best new track brought back into this game from Mario Kart Tour. You race your way inside of a dojo with some shy guys around the place and a very satisfying glider that can take you fairly high into the air if you play your cards right. The charm of this course definitely lies in how many different routes you can take throughout the duration of the race. There's many possibilities for potential routes to take. There's also a nice shortcut that saves a lot of time if you can get through the wooden planks in the way. Let me just say that the music for this course goes extremely hard. I love this song to this course so much. Number 3, Wii Maple Treeway. I mean, I just love this course. It will always be one of my favorites for many years to come, and that's no different for this game. There are a few changes made in Mario Kart 7 that I wasn't too happy about, but the half pipes are brought back in this version, making it feel like a hybrid between Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7's version, which I quite enjoy. I absolutely love everything about this course from start to finish, including the shortcut, the cannon, the piles of leaves, the wigglers, even the glider pad towards the end grew on me at this point. Once again, the music is amazing to this course. Number 2, Wii Rainbow Road. I had Rainbow Road below Maple Treeway in my Mario Kart Wii rankings, but they maintained everything great about this course and made it slightly better with the entire course being in anti-gravity. I was disappointed with Mario Kart Tour's take on this course, and lots of courses in the Booster Course Pass were modeled after their Tour editions. Luckily, this course did not become a section track. It's just 3 laps of anti-gravity greatness. You can still hop over the giant holes in the middle of the course with enough speed, and the giant rainbow cannon is still there as a gliding section. It was a beautiful way to wrap up the Booster Course Pass as a whole with some absolutely beautiful music to race to. But it's not the best course of this game, as the number 1 course of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart as a whole is Number 1, 3DS Rainbow Road. I just absolutely love this course, and that's no different for its remake. They didn't change much at all, and what they did change was pretty trivial for me. This course is just one giant space adventure where you really get the feel that you're in outer space. It's a section track, so you'll experience several different things as you race throughout the course. The absolute best part of this course for me is on section 2 when you race on the moon. You'll actually get more of a feel that you're on the moon as you race in anti-gravity, and it's such an amazing concept that I'm happy they added to this remake. The remake of its music still gives me the chills. It's just absolutely phenomenal. This is the best course in all of Mario Kart, and the bar is set very high for Nintendo to ever make a course better than this one. Anyway, that will be concluding my Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ranking. This is the best Mario Kart in my opinion, and they just kept making it better with all the DLC that was added to it throughout the years. We ended up with 96 tracks, and for me, nearly a quarter of them are in the SS tier. The next Mario Kart game has a very high bar to compete with, because this game just went above and beyond anyone's expectations, and that's primarily due to how many tracks they ultimately brought into the game. Some of them being brand spanking new Nitro courses which will forever be staples of the series, and some which are classic retro tracks which already made their way into legendary status. The course selection just cannot be topped for this game. Anyway, my next video will be a project that I've been working on for quite some time. Unfortunately, I've been very ill, so I've not had the motivation to work on it, but I am feeling better now. The project is the community ranking for the Kart Park crew. In my intro, there's a Discord server to a group called the Kart Park Crew. In this server, we all just chill and talk about video games we enjoy playing, primarily Mario Kart. We had 24 people participate in a community ranking I generated where everyone ranked all 96 courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe from worst to best. From there, I averaged out the scores to make one giant ranking. The results will be in the next video I make, and I will also be doing my very first collaboration, as I'll be having a few members of the Kart Park Crew participate in this video. So to everyone who participated in this project, sorry for the delay, but it is time. Thanks for watching, and until then, this is MDubs signing out.